Greetings duelists and welcome to another video. The last deck profile that I did was Rescue Ace. I already mentioned that this is the deck I kind of want to incorporate into the format. Right now my goal is not only to try to perfect this deck, but try to see all the flaws, all the weaknesses that it has, potential ideas that could help bolster the strategy, help raise the ceiling of the deck, maybe aid it with consistency, and maybe help fight it against like stuff that are going to be prevalent in the format. So the first thing that I've noticed when I was playing this deck is that getting to emergency is super crucial. But not only getting to emergency, you need emergency plus a rescue ace monster, unless you open Airlifter. Airlifter is pretty much like the most important card in the deck. You kind of want to resolve this card as much as possible, and it's going to be rough or hard if you don't get to this card in a consistent, precise manner. That's like one weakness that I noticed. The other question that I was making myself is, what plays can I do if I don't open Airlifter? Like, what other monsters are in the deck that can facilitate what the deck wants to do and how to circumvent that issue. So I'll be going over those two things today. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to show you an engine that I'm playing in the deck that almost facilitates to the Airlifter, but not entirely. And the engine basically comprises of the Almace, the Museum, and the Durandal. So for those who are unfamiliar with these cards, you're probably going to see them because of Infernoble Knights. Basically, the Noble Arms Museum makes it so you pay 1200 and you add a Noble Arms, and it's not once per turn, which is very important. The Almace makes it so whatever monster is equipped, you can pop this. You can equip this to any monster. You can disequip this and place another Noble Arms to an appropriate monster you control. Durandal, what it does is, if it's equipped, you can send it to a graveyard, and you can add a level 5 or level 5 or lower fire warrior monster specifically. So this is where the Airlifter comes in. If these three cards can get you to Airlifter, but we still have one more issue. The one more issue is you need a monster on the board to make these cards work. So basically you kind of want to play an extender. You want to play something that it benefits, like upon being summoned, that doesn't take up your normal summon. Either that, or you want to open the Rescue Ace headquarters, because that will give you an additional normal summon if you do choose to like take the normal summon route for Airlifter. And the engine that I am testing out is the Sky Striker engine. So basically Engage and Hornet Drones. I'm also playing some utility cards like Widow Anchor and Shark Cannon. But what does this engine do, and how does it facilitate with the deck? Well, for starters, it gives you a monster, so you can use the Infernoble cards as an extender. However, there is one more important detail, and the important detail is that whatever you summon with the token is going to be the Kagari, and Kagari is a fire attribute monster. The reason that detail is important is because if you get into your Airlifter into rotation, what's gonna happen next is that the Airlifter is going to add you a card. So we'll pretend that this is like the emergency you added, and then you can turn the Airlifter and the Kagari into Sunlight Wolf. Because it requires two fire monsters, and these two are two different fire monsters. Um, and then what is gonna happen next is you do emergency. Emergency will summon the hydrant, and then you have to tribute something. Um, Take note, you do need to open any rescue ace to do this combos, the specific combo that I'm doing. However, this won't be like the biggest issue in the world. If you don't have another rescue ace monster, what you can do is you summon the fire hydrant. The fire hydrant will tribute the airlifter, and then after that happens, you can search the preventer and then turn the preventer and the Kagari into the Sunlight Wolf. And that's a little bit of a bonus because it means that whatever you banish out of the preventer can summon itself back. So basically what's going to happen next is the hydrant is going to add us another monster. So let's pretend this is there. And then what is going to happen is you're going to turn the fire hydrant into Linkuriboh. Linkuriboh being level, it requires a level 1, which is hydrant. And then Linkuriboh and the Sunlight Wolf is going to make us Decode Talker Heat Soul. So I'm pretty sure you're familiar with this card by now. It was played a lot with Math Mechs, but this is not a Math Mech deck. So then with the Heat Soul, you're going to like draw into another card. So basically we're already +3 in advantage. And this is not counting whatever you added with the fire hydrant. Let's say, for example, you added the turbulence. The turbulence will summon. The turbulence will set 4, and then you'll have 4 plus these 3 cards in hand. So if you do the math, if everything resolves, it is pretty much like a +10. You have a mass amount of cards. It's a lot of card advantage. You have the museum to keep adding you cards in the next turn. And that's not even counting the fact that you grabbed engage back from the Kagari, which means you could activate the engage and just draw more cards and get more cards that way. But yeah, like this is basically like a small concept that I thought about. Is it perfect? I think it's far from it. I think proper deck building will probably shape this up a little bit sooner than later. Like there's no real consistent way for you to either open like their Sky Striker cards, which is kind of imperative to this strategy because you want an extender to use your museums or use your like Infernoble spell cards. But yeah, I'm still figuring out that part. Take note that this does make the deck weaker to draw, which is going to be very popular. Another thing is that going second, this strategy is a little bit more fragile because your opponent will have interruption for your cards. However, going second is pretty cool and ideal because it means that your Infernoble spell cards can actually be equipped to cards from your opponent. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to share like the first iteration that I've found with this strategy. I don't know if it's going to be like the perfect solution. We're still figuring that out. But as of now, I've really been enjoying this. But yeah, keep practicing, keep dueling, and let me know what you guys think. I hope you found this informative. I hope you found this like very entertaining to some degree, and stay tuned for more.